Welcome to Devlog 4 for Empire Battle, an RTS strategy game that I've been developing for the past year. Just a quick note before I get into the devlog. I've released the public beta for Empire Battle for iOS and Android. So if you want to try out the game in its current state, the download links are in the description below. Please try it out and let me know what you think. Thanks, and now back to the devlog. In this devlog, I've added hero units to my game by making the main characters as playable units. So far my story has two main characters, General Hasdel and Prince Andreas. General Hasdel is the general of the Baldur army and Prince Andreas is the crown prince, on whom the responsibility of the crown was pushed way before his time. I started off with the general and added a model prefab to my list of characters. He can be seen here leading his troops into battle. But since this was a hero unit, he needed to be a bit more prominent. This can be easily achieved by slightly increasing the scale, and once the scale is increased, he looks a bit more like a general and someone the troops would willingly follow into battle. Usually every hero is known by his or her special abilities, and I wanted my heroes to have at least two unique abilities. For the general, I wanted to give him a spell or ability that would go with a brave and fearless general, someone who leads from the front. So for his first ability, I made an AoE buff and called it the Drums of War. This buff is active at all times around the general, and it increases the attack power of all surrounding units by a factor of 8. To show this active buff, the surrounding units have their scale slightly increased. His second ability needed to be an offensive spell, so I gave him the Fire Blast. This is a very powerful spell that inflicts 100 damage to its target and its surrounding units. I may have made the general a bit too powerful with these abilities, but that is a problem for future me and future playtesting. Next on the list was our hero, Prince Andreas. Here is a prince who had his father murdered in cold blood and was pushed into power too early. He is pure of heart and only wants to do good for his people. Imagine Prince Arthas from Warcraft, or at least before, from when he became the Lich King. So with such a backstory, it only makes sense that his special abilities are a bit more defensive in nature. His first ability is a healing spell, which is a blast of Holy Nova and heals all surrounding units after every 20 seconds. His second ability is the Divine Shield, which adds a shield of protection on 3 friendly units near the prince. Once the shield has been deployed, these units cannot be harmed for the next 10 seconds. I also added some UI to these units, as I wanted to have some visual cues for when these spells would trigger. Otherwise, they would appear random to the player. These are presented by icons above each hero, and a radial fill element indicates the time to the next trigger. Finally, I added the buttons for these heroes to the character panel and made it so that only one can be deployed at a time. Once a hero is dead, I also added a 20-second timer before you can spawn the next one. And that's all I have to say for this devlog. Thanks a lot for watching, and subscribe to follow along. I will try to put out a devlog every week from now on. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next one.